Hi friends, my name is Jaya and I help people to expand their awareness. Welcome to my new video blog Essence of Life. Today we are going to see about the anger management. What is anger and how we can manage anger? We'll see today. Let's dive into the topic. The anger is a very powerful negative emotion. The root cause for anger can be frustration, disappointments, or any other issues, or the unresolved childhood emotions. So we have to basically find out what is the reason for the anger. Do not hold anger for a long time. You have to release it because it's a very powerful negative emotion. According to Nikola Tesla, he said, if you like to learn about the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency and vibration. What is the inner engineering of anger? Suppose your boss is around and she is picking on you. How will you feel? You'll be angry, is it? Okay, so a small portion of the brain which is almond shaped, which is called amygdala. If you draw a line through the ear and the eye, the point where it meets, that's the exact position of amygdala. This amygdala is open to the external stimuli. So when a person is angry, this amygdala is stimulated and it passes the message to hypothalamus. We can consider this hypothalamus as the CEO of brain. And from the hypothalamus, that passes the message to pituitary gland. Pituitary is the master gland. We can say it's the manager. And the pituitary, what it does is, it passes the message to almost all the organs. When the message received to the adrenal glands, the adrenal gland produces the stress hormones. This stress hormone, when the stress hormone hit to each of the organs, what happens? When that hit the liver, the glycogen, that is the stored form of sugar, that glycogen will be converted into glucose. When that hit the respiratory system, our respiratory rate will go up. When it hits the heart rate will go up. And when it hits the muscles, the blood flow to the muscles will be increased and we are ready to fight. That is the reason when a person is angry, he will have blush face and he will be like a rose flower. Okay, and then during that time, the prefrontal cortex, that's another portion of the brain, which is the most evolved area of the brain. The judgmental decisions will be made by the prefrontal cortex, but the action of the prefrontal cortex will be suppressed. That is the reason when we are angry, if we answer to something or if we react to something, it will be beyond our limits sometimes. So whatever we say, we can't take it back, is it? That is why better to keep quiet or acknowledge it. And also the happy hormones won't be produced during that time. That is the reason why if a person is under stress for a long time, that can lead to depression. That is a very dangerous condition. That's why we have to ventilate and we have to know what is happening in our body. It's like if you are angry and if you are stressed, it's like walking around after drinking poison. That is the same stage you are in. There are very powerful tools to control anger. When we see a person very angry and hostile, we try to avoid them, do we? Because we don't want to take any more stress. No, we'll just avoid them. Maybe it is their tactics to avoid you so that they can hide something. Some people, they like to hide something and they will be angry. So that is a mask. So we don't know from where they are coming from. Tips to control your anger. What are the main tips? Tip number 1. When you're getting angry next time, hope you will think about this tip, okay? Okay, tip number 1 is acknowledge your anger. You tell your name few times inside, like, oh, Jaya, you're getting angry, be careful, and physically and mentally try to avoid that situation. Just divert your attention by maybe checking your notification or something like that, or thinking about your loved one or anything like that. Just for a moment, you need a diversion. So you have to do it, okay? Tip number 2 is try to slow down. When you slow down your body, your mind also will be slow. Take a big breath through the nose and release it through the mouth. And then unclench your fist and relax your muscles. So that way you could slow down. Tip number 3 is do not take personal. If you are in a meeting or a conference or anywhere outside, or if you are with the friends, when they try to oppose you or oppose your ideas, it's only your ideas. They're not opposing you. So you have to think in that way. Don't take the things personal. The next point is be aware about your body. Be aware what's happening in your body and learn how to let it go. We have to release it. We have to let it go. That is the greatest gift you can develop. Don't hold on to that emotions or the feelings, which is going to harm you in the long run. Meditation, breathing exercises, good sleep and rest, and the adequate diets and the proper diets and the exercises, these all can lead you in a very good healthy lifestyle. Next tip is try to reflect on the situation. Journaling is a very good way to ventilate it, so that we'll know what was the condition, what was the situation which happened, how I could have reacted it, how I could have avoided it. Is there any other way I could do in a better way? So journaling is really important. That will ventilate your emotions. When I said to you about the unresolved childhood emotions, that's a very important point to remember. Why? Because at the age of 11 or 12 years old, I was suffering from acne. And I used to go to the doctor for the treatments. And I was consulting a dermatologist for the treatments. And then I used to go there. And he used to put me on different type of antibiotic and different type of treatments. Anyway, but it was like a competition between my acne and my doctor. So finally what happened? In a competition, someone has to win, is it? Okay, so my doctor failed and my face was full of acne. That was my condition when I was 11 or 12 years old. And I used to accompany my parents or whoever going to hospital. I used to accompany them. When my sister was pregnant, I went with her to the hospital. It was a private clinic. Only the doctor will be seeing only 10 patients. And she was the last patient to be seen. So I was waiting outside in the doctor's clinic and my sister was in the consulting room. So I was the only one waiting there outside. After some time, a lady came in from the blue and she stood beside me and she was staring at me. So I thought, oh, I don't know her, why she's looking at me like that. So I was a little bit suspicious, but then I just kept quiet and I didn't say anything. So she looked at me and after some time she said, oh, how much acne you have. Your face is full of acne. How ugly you look like. And then she said so many other things, but I don't even remember that now. But anyway, finally she said, oh, nobody in your life is going to like you. And no one will like you, and even not going to get married. Like that, on leaving, she said to me, and she just left. So I was really upset. I was stunned hearing all this. Anyway, after some time, my sister came out from the consulting room, and she was so happy about her unborn child, and she was explaining me about all the fetal movement and all those. But then I couldn't listen to her, so I just kept quiet, and we both went home. And from that day I became really quiet. I lost the interest in my studies, and I stopped going out with my friends, and I was really introvert. Anyway, my mom was watching me, and she asked me, what happened? Then I said, I just didn't tell her anything. I said, oh no, nothing. I just didn't even tell to anybody about this. So my mom, because I am the youngest one in my family, so she was so close to me, and she asked me again, what happened? And then I had to tell her, this is what I saw a lady, and she said all these things, and I am so upset over it. Then after some time, she just looked at me, and then she said to me, see, it is only a minor detail. If you don't have any friends, if you don't have any best friend or anyone in your life, it's okay. It is fine. And I will be your best friend forever. Like that she said to me. And then gradually I started picking up, and I was more confident. And because my mom was a clever woman, she could pick it up on time. So that's why we have to watch out our kids for their actions. And if they are quiet, all of a sudden, we have to think, we have to judge them, and we need to be mindful about that. When you think about your anger, you have to think, what was the trigger for that? And what type of people or friends you are hanging around with. We all have a boiling point, do we? So, I think when you get next time the anger, you have to think about all those things, and the meditation and the exercises and breathing exercises. This all will help you. Hope you're going to follow these tips, and you will have a good life. Stay healthy, happy, and blessed. See you all soon. Bye. Jaya.